In Urban Sociology TV, we discover urban issues that you could probably have never came across to be serious, and in this episode, we are going to let you know about urban development focusing on transportation sector. In Urban Sociology TV, we discover urban issues. Only on Urban Sociology TV.
Reliability is an important element to influence people who use public transport as to enhance their satisfaction and loyalty towards these services. Public will support public transport if it operates timely in accordance with the scheduled departures, arrivals, and also frequency. The issue with Malaysia's public transportation system is that buses and rail services are not operating as scheduled, and lack of access due to being distant from the place they live and to the specific bus stand or stations.
The impact on infrequent public on the feeder bus is that people will lose the last mile connectivity. So the thing is that it defeats the purpose of the public transport in a whole, that people still need to drive to the nearest, let's say the nearest rail transport. It actually add congestion to the road as well. And then also because of that, last mile connectivity problem, sometimes when we drive to or people drive to these stations, they have lack of parking, and also there could be any other issues.
While users in Kuala Lumpur and Selangor are found to be dissatisfied with buses' frequency, security, travel time, and comfortable travel experiences. This problem is causing miserable to urban dwellers by being unable to enjoy urban livability and overall quality of life in the hectic noise of city.
Traffic congestion is another problem in the city. This problem is majorly caused by failure of public transportation system. In Kuala Lumpur alone, this problem has caused 158 hours of additional travel time in 2016. The city dwellers of Kuala Lumpur has ranked this problem, traffic congestion, as third of top 5 challenges living in the city.
Moving by private cars is found to be more efficient than public transport, which is time-consuming, unsafe, and also tiring due to walking in distance, long travel, and waiting time. This makes public transportation to be a non-popular option. Even worse, the ownership of private cars also is increasing every year, and youngsters are not left out. Another contributing factor to this is that Malaysia has its own car manufacturers and brands, which are Proton and Perodua, causing cars to be more affordable, and it becomes a necessity instead of a status symbol. Traffic congestion is not only causing stress, but it even pollutes the air and causing environment degradation in urban area.
Trust with rapid urbanization, the role of government, the Ministry of Work, has made the realization of intelligent transport system through ITS Blueprint 2019 to 2023.
The main problem in the cities is traffic congestion, and it can be solved by utilizing ITS, starting with circulate the real-time traffic condition, journey planning, and suggestions for alternate routes. In future, Malaysia will turn into smart cities by utilizing ITS because we are turning into new world of technology by providing a seamless journey involving public and private transport. The ITS system can also be associated with the bus priority system, whereby it provides services, electronic information to consumers.
Together with us, an urban sociology expert, Professor Umi from University Technology Mara, Malaysia. Hello, Professor Umi. How are you doing?
Alhamdulillah, I'm doing good.
Alhamdulillah, glad to know that. So Prof. Umi, would you like to share with us what ITS really is and how does the government play its role in executing ITS?
Generally, Intelligent Transport System (ITS) is a system in which information and communication technologies are applied in the field of road transport and in traffic management and mobility management, as well as for interfaces with other modes of transport. One of it is through Global Positioning System, which is GPS. It is to help the bus operators in controlling services and bus drivers while they are working. Besides, it also provides in-vehicle telecommunication such as radio control to inform bus driver about changes in operation and problem on network or routes. Next is Real-Time Passenger Information (RTPI), which is displayed at bus stop, inside the bus, or text messages on a mobile phone. It is to inform the consumer by providing reliable information on bus arrival time or estimated travel time as they can plan their journey early.
Very interesting, Professor Umi. And thank you so much for your point of view in regards with the roles of government. I think the government as well might initiate something in order to ease the movement of citizens by using public transports in the cities. Maybe the government could enable the citizens to plan their journey so that would ease the movement of the citizens within the city's area. So what do you think the government could initiate in order to make this a reality, which give benefits to the people in urban area?
Is through journey planning, whereby, as you can see here, this service application allows users to plan their journey via online by assessing which mode of transport is affordable, arrival time, and estimated travel time of public transport. This will provide seamless journey for the travelers and encourage them to opt for the public transport.
That's so insightful and informative, Professor Umi. Thank you very much for willing to spend your time with us today.
You are welcome.
The role of local or city council can make a tremendous significance towards the realization of ITS in Malaysia. ITS cannot work alone without different agencies who will help turning Kuala Lumpur into a smart city. The City Council or DBKL's role is to identify the key issues, concerns, recommendations, and plans for the future in analyzing various data such as land use information, bus network data, traffic count, and travel time data. The City Council has made a population forecast whereby the highest population growth projections is going to be in Klang with a capacity of 10 million people within the region. The population growth will sustain the pressure on the public transport network as it demands for increase in movement across the city. Hence, DBKL has used land data to analyze the demand of travel modes and how it impacted towards the time consumed for each public transport to access into the location.
We always want to put all burdens to the government. What about us as a society? Society should play their role as well in tackling the problems. Society should choose bus as an option to travel, as we can reduce the greenhouse effect.
Greenhouse effect is when the sun's warmth is trapped in the Earth's lower atmosphere. It actually makes the Earth to be warmer, but scientists believe that the Earth has got excessively warmer due to human activities and burning of fossil fuels, which leads to global climate change. It might be less damaging to the environment if 40 consumers to be in one bus rather than having 40 separate cars, as it will create global warming and low air quality. This is due to the fact that buses only release 20% of carbons, which is lower than private cars. So, the more we opt for public transport, the more we can help to reduce the global climate change. Now, it's time for transport sector statistics. We are to inform that all this data are secondary data whereby it is not obtained by our team but library research was conducted. Hence, the raw data was obtained by other researchers. It was found that only 5% of Malaysians have been using public transports regularly, especially buses, and there are a massive amount of cars on the road, which is approximately 18 millions. While 80% of private car users will remain using private cars as they appear to be more efficient. This makes people use private cars over inefficient public transports, which makes their journey to be even longer. Due to buses not coming at scheduled departures and arrivals, some are not even scheduled, forcing them to wait even longer. 51% of regular Putrajaya bus users admitted that they have to wake up so early for them to be able to get the bus. The problem worsened when buses have low frequency of picking up the passengers. Long waits and sweats are definitely bad. To prove there are millions of cars on the road, here is the list as on the screen, which dictated the years from 2011 to 2015. The number of cars can be observed increasing every year. This also reflects that Federal Territory and Johor State have the greatest number of cars on roads by 2015. Therefore, as population increases in the urban sector, it leads to the increasing of traffic congestion in the surrounding area. As year passes, the growth of urban area eventually affecting the number of vehicles on roads. Even there are several government strategies initiated to encourage public to use public transport in order to alleviate road congestion when everybody uses their own car. High increasing of vehicles on road will cause many complications such as traffic jams, accidents, deaths, high rate of emissions, a high use of non-renewable energy resources, which is all a threat to quality of life. Let's watch a clip from World Health Organization in regards with accidents and young people all around the world. There are still many to be discussed for. We will see on the recommendations from our team right after this findings and challenges commercial. Every city has its own uniqueness as well as challenges in surviving. You live in cities and you use public transport? Travel time is the most challenging part. Buses need long waits, long rides, taking time at every stop. It's driving us all insane. Cars allow us to go to multiple destinations in a shorter period of time. Well, this is Taylor and her cat, Tompo. Morning, beautiful world. No, Tompo, I'm getting to work right now. See you tonight. I'm gonna ride the bus today. Here's the bus stand. Okay, so where is the bus? Why public transport is testing and challenging my patience? I want to be early at work. Here's the challenge for bus users. Not punctual, low level of service, slowness, and lengthy stops. I am completely mad. I am dissatisfied in getting my car right now. What's another challenge to public in using public transport? It is because the frequency and timeliness of the buses. Frequency and timeliness are becoming the challenge as it will influence a user decision whether to use public transportation or not. Bus service providers generally set bus frequencies based on passenger demand. Most of the car users choose to drive to work or to any of their chosen destination because the bus service is not regular as possible. Many car users claimed that they didn't take the bus because the service wasn't available at the time they needed it, and because of this, they might be late for work. This makes journey planning to be very uncertain. Public transportation users also not pleased with the bus arrival time. Let's meet our bus rider friends here.
This time for bus to reach 1 hour plus, more than an hour. It's very tiring because sometimes it's hot.
Another challenge for the issue of traffic congestion is that the public itself prefer to travel with private cars rather than public transportation, as they think that private cars are more efficient than public transportation system in this country.
Over-dependency on private cars is due to the fact that most travelers prefer more cost-effective and time-efficient cars rather than unplanned public transport system, especially buses. Private cars' model share will continue to rise, and by 2020, it is set to reach 7 million. The tendency towards ownership of private cars can only get worse if the transport policy remains inefficient and ineffective. Even the main roads surrounding the city center are approaching their utilization potential, and the Klang Valley problem of land scarcity hinders the development of more roads and parking facilities. Double and triple cars are parked on the lane, creating even more congestion. The congestion of traffic in the city is increasing, and it takes longer to reach one's destination, making the situation even more critical for revamping the urban transport system.
As for traffic congestion issues, this poses a threat and challenge to public transportation system as it poses higher risk in safety and security aspect. This is as public transportation carries more passengers than private cars. Hence, that's what makes people believe that this public transport has higher risk in the aspect of safety and security.
This is because public transportation is closely linked to human lives on a small or lesser scale because many passengers are traveling in one vehicle. There are some of the public transportation company, especially buses, are often poorly maintained and overburdened, while the drivers themselves receive insufficient training. Hence, people feel secured to use the private cars rather than to use public transportation, which makes the traffic congestion situation worse, especially in the urban area. The government should take in consideration to improve the public transport by adapting other countries which are doing it better, such as Japan, that has a system that particularly very modern, convenient, safe, timely and well organized, as well as excellent in operation and accountable. Public transportation shall be grand and good enough until it is perceived to be best used by people from all walks of life, regardless of their social status. Japan first raised their public transport system to be a top-notch one by imposing high price of fuel to reduce their usage of private transportation at the same time to fulfill the public demands for transportation. And the government supports private companies also to provide vehicles for best public transport services. What's more, the governance of public transportation, which consisted of Greater Kuala Lumpur, where the local governments should be synchronized first before any modernization and technological initiative to be embedded in the whole transportation system, such as the utilization of Intelligent Transport System (ITS). This may help to address certain transport issues such as air and noise pollution, oil dependency, traffic congestion, and accidents. The outcome would definitely be an efficient public transportation system which is aligned with current global modernization. A proper governance of transportation sector, along with the implementation of modern transportation systems such as the utilization of Intelligent Transport System, will make a huge change which acts as a pathway for all sorts of initiatives to be successful. To control traffic congestion, it can be done by traffic light management using CCTVs to monitor the road condition. One of the management systems is an urban traffic management control (UTMC) systems such as SCOOT can be very effective in optimizing road efficiency by adjusting the timing of traffic lights to match real-time demand. UTMC can help with lots of things, such as to coordinate buses and see if buses arrive on or off schedule and adjusting the amount of priority it provides accordingly. Traffic management also able to monitor breakdowns, crashes, and other congestion causes, especially at junctions. Out from all, government plays an important role to first educate the public to be vigilant in dealing with public transport system, regardless of drivers and passengers. When passengers complaining drivers are reckless and their safety being compromised with unpunctual drivers, public unpleasant attitude should also be fixed with constant reminders and up to fining in promoting behaviors such as no littering, lining up, and providing seating for the needy and women's section to ensure public transports to be conducive and comfortable without the feel of being threatened. This can be made reality of when good behaviors are being practiced all the time by every individual. The sense of safety and comfort during travel will open up to many more public transport users in this country. This would solve the problems of bad transportation system and traffic congestion altogether.
Thank you so much for watching Urban Sociology TV. We have discussed urban development issues, whereby focusing on transportation sector. I am Anna. See you again in the next episode of Urban Sociology TV.